Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we rolled the dice and it came up Fortress in a battle between Mr. Yo playing as the red Mayans and Modri playing as the blue Bengalis. Now, as the players farm their farms, gather their berries, and try to go up to feudal and castle as fast as possible, let's take a look at the respective civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Mayans are a civilization that pushes its players towards archer units. Your skirmishers can be upgraded to throw a second, weaker spear, and your foot archers, except for skirmishers, become progressively cheaper as the game goes on. So 10% off in feudal, 20% off in castle, and a whopping 30% off in Imperial. This helps the Mayans mass their unique unit, the Plumed Archer, a relatively weak, overall fast, tanky archer unit that comes with, I would call it a small attack bonus against infantry. Now, to support your ranged units, which, if you play this game, you know are not the strongest units in the game, Mayan walls are 50% cheaper, so your archers can hide behind a lot of walls, and your Eagle Warriors can be upgraded to get 40 extra HP. Now, to help you produce a large, juicy, powerful army, Mayan resources last 15% longer, and the Mayans start the game with 1 extra villager, but 50 less food, which helps them get to feudal faster so that they can start getting those big upgrade, discounts on their archer units. Now, facing off against Mr. Yo, we have Modri as the Bengalis. This, I would call an elephant civilization through and through. All of their elephant units receive less bonus damage, all of their elephant units are more resistant to conversion, and all of their elephant units can be upgraded to attack 20% faster, which is amazing when you consider the fact that the Bengalis get fully upgraded battle elephants and siege elephants, and their elephant archers also benefit from Parthian tactics. Now, in order to support these slow, easily converted units on the battlefield, Bengali monks come with a huge armor boost. I think it's a +3 melee and a +3 pierce armor. And the Bengali unique unit, the Rata, is one of the most versatile units in the game, being a chariot unit that can actually switch between a melee and a ranged unit. Now, in order to support the Bengali army, every Bengali town center automatically spawns 2 free villagers when you reach the next age, and your civilian population can actually be upgraded to take up 10% less population space. The way it does this is each one of these villagers, instead of counting for 1 population room, when they're upgraded, counts for 0.9. Now, you can use this extra population room however you want. Military, more villagers, battle elephants, anything and everything at your disposals, except, for units that the Bengalis don't have. So let's take a look at their bases. Let's see, as I always like to do in a fortress map, the positioning of the towers, because all of these bases automatically spawn with 10 villagers, or in the case of the Mayans, 11. A castle, a little bit of infrastructure, and 4 hilariously placed towers. So in this case, like yesterday's game or the game from the day before, this tower is guarding from the unknown alien invasion that's coming in from the area of the map that's floating in space. This tower I would call just as equally useless. And for our blue Bengali, 1 tower in the front, 1 here in the side, 2 on this one side. And where is this 4th tower? In the corner here. Okay. I'm not sure to call this a forward or a side tower. We'll call it a corner tower. Let's take a look at their resources. Modri sitting pretty well here with the gold in the back. His stone is a little bit exposed if Mr. Yo decides to put on pressure, which, if you've watched Mr. Yo games, you know he likes to put on pressure. His gold is sitting in the front, but pretty far back from the walls, so it's not super duper exposed. And where is his stone? Oh, atrociously placed right here in the front of the map, surrounded by a bunch of wood. We'll see if he can even fit a town center into here, or if he's going to have to rely on a mining camp. In any event, that hissing sound that you heard in the background means that our blue Bengali has reached feudal age, blacksmith, market going down. So look at his resources. He's sitting at almost 700 food, 300 gold. We know what that means. He wants to get up to castle, as does Mr. Yo, who also just reached feudal and is also now constructing the 2 requisite buildings you need to get into castle age. Now, we'll see if this game does follow the standard meta of, we'll call it the arena meta, where the game is divided into 3 stages. The first one is both players rush up the castle. The second stage is the players start fighting over these juicy golden relics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And once all those relics are gathered, we enter into my favorite stage of the game, stage 3, where the players just decide to build whatever armies they want and bash the hell out of each other until one of them taps out. Now, as I've been blabbing on about relics and placements of stone piles, both players are in fact going up to castle on the back of the exact same villager count, 26 villagers for both. Mr. Yo has lost his Eagle Scout. I'll see if I can put a picture-in-picture to see exactly what happened to this Eagle Scout, but that's neither here nor there. He's already produced replacement. So, you know, units in Age of Empires don't really have their own unique identities and personalities. They are fungibles. Basically, you lose one, you replace them. So don't get too attached to any of these units, because chances are they're going to die. Electronically, of course. Okay, Castle Age advantage here going down for our Bengalis. About 20 seconds, I would say, 18 or so seconds ahead of time. Let's see what relics he's seen. 1 relic, 2, 3 relics. And what has Mr. Yo seen? He has seen 1 relic. Although he is getting, I think, pretty close with this Eagle Scout. He's going to see it, right? Yeah, he sees it. Okay, so 3 relic vision to 2, although this scout looks like it's going to discover this 4th one very soon. And now we have in 3, 2, 1, both players are in castle. And this Eagle Scout shoos away the Scout Cavalry. Unfortunately for Modri, instead of going west and discovering the relic, he has gone south. Although if he continues going west, he'll discover the southern relic. 2 town centers going down for both players. Very safe location here for Modri in the back. A little bit more exposed here. I mean, this woodpile, it's nice, but it's also problematic, right? Because this is a land that's adjacent to your town center that you can't use to put any defensive units or structures. So a tower here or a treb on this hill can cause a big headache. Ugh, what an ugly, ugly placement for a town center by Mr. Yo. I get why he's doing it. I think the circumstances here, look how constrained and constricted it is. How many farms can you fit into here? 1, 2, maybe 3 into here? Terrible, terrible. I mean, he's making the best of a bad situation. This town center, much better. Huge old pile of gold right next to the lumber. Lots of space for farms, especially once this lumber goes away. Are any players building monks? No. Okay, so right as I yammer on, oh no, never mind. I was going to say right as I blab on about stage 2 and monks and gathering relics, none of the players are actually interested in doing that, and they are both basically just building up their economies. 37 villagers for our red Mayan, 43 for our blue Bengali. Okay, so Modri's going to take a villager lead very quickly. Although both players sitting on 3 town centers, that villager lead is going to become less and less important. And I say that just because, you know, in the beginning of the game, when you have 10 more villagers than your opponent, it's a huge difference. Or in this case, take a look at the top of your screen. 5 villagers is a huge difference. We're talking about 15% more villagers for Modri. But as the game goes on, when you start getting into triple digits, villagers, 100, 110, what the hell is 5 villagers? It's not going to really make that much of a difference unless, you know, in the rare circumstance where you really, really need it. Although that being said, Modri, as the Bengali, always in your interest to get as many villagers as possible so that you can research the Mahayana upgrade, which, like I said, makes each one of these villagers count for 0.9 population instead of 1. Okay. Lots of Eagle Scouts for our red Mayan. Has he upgraded them to warriors? He has not. No military upgrades for either player. Our first Rada out. I love these. One of my favorite civs to play in Age of Empires 1 in the, you know, the late 90s were the Egyptians and all the various civs that had the chariot units. And the fact that they found a way to introduce chariots, or rather reintroduce chariots into this game, is incredibly fun for me. I'm sure for you as well. And for now, I don't know where that Rata is going, but Mr. Yo sending out 1 villager, thought he was going to build a siege workshop here, thinks better of it, and plops down a house. because he is supply blocked. But now, oh god, the villager comes immediately under attack. Modri sees the villager out on the map. He's experienced enough to know what that means, that Mr. Yo is not just here to build a house and, you know, community housing here. He's going to follow this up with some kind of military structure. Errata taking on an Eagle Scout. Never good for the Eagle Scout. Think of the Ratas. I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here about these units. First of all, look how cool this is. How awesome is this unit standing on these planks of wood? This reminds me of the Gladiator and so on. But the Rata, because the Bengalis do not have any of the Knightline units, no Knights, no Cavaliers, no Paladins, the Rata is basically, I think, the developer's way of giving the Bengalis a Knight-like unit. So in melee, you see he attacks on a 10, he's got about 100 HP, so similar, very similar to a Knight. And when they're in ranged mode, it's arguable if you want to compare them to a crossbow, and then later when you upgrade them, you can compare them to cavalry archers. I leave that up to you, but it's a very versatile unit, very finicky. So if you're not an expert in this game, I would suggest first practicing with Bengalis on the AI before you jump into a ranked online match. Beautiful placement here by Mr. Yo of a town center, right smack dab in a gold sandwich. What I would love to see is a wall off here so that he can protect this little side expansion, this side piece of his. And like I said, if you've ever watched Mr. Yo, which I'm assuming you have, if you're watching these streams, you're familiar with the game, with the players, etc. And Modri should know this as well. He's not here just to build a house. So the Siege Workshop is back. Mangonel fire on both sides. Our Bengali has just exploded in population, though. He's in that 95 to the 77 of Mr. Yo. I mean, that's we're talking about an almost 20 population advantage 20 minutes into the game, and here come the Ratas. Let's see, you see how they have bows in their hands now? That means they're in ranged modes. Now they have swords in their hands, so they're in melee mode. Now remember, a very finicky thing about this unit, one last thing, and then I promise I'm going to shut up about the Rata. Technically, I think they're considered cavalry archers, and so skirmishers are an incredibly good way to deal with these units. If you find yourself ever playing against them, build skirmishers. If you're finding yourself playing them, be wary and be careful of skirmishers. One relic left on the map. Mr. Yo collecting 3 to the 1. This is going to be 4. I bet he wishes he spawned the Aztecs so that he can collect 33% more gold from these relics. But that is neither here nor there. 4 to 1 relic advantage is still fantastic. Will the monk get the convert, or will he get sniped? No, he gets sniped. The scout cavalry being the natural predator, the natural hunter of the monk line. Okay, Mr. Yo's forward expansion here. Proxy Siege Workshop and houses are going to go down unless he finds a way to defend them. Very slowly, of course, because again, no upgrades for either player at the moment. Okay, cross space and time, Mr. Yo, listen to me, even though with I think currently he's ranked the #1 Elo, although I don't know between him and Hera who is #1 at the moment, but he's either #1 or #2, definitely in the top 5. He does not have to listen to anything I say. Oh, nice, double secondary wall off here. I love it. And what is our blue Bengali going to do? He's again sitting on a 24 population advantage, but he's not producing anything. He is saving money and resources, and I was going to say, I wonder why. And both players click up to Imperial literally 1 second apart. It never ceases to amaze me how these players have such incredible game sense. I don't want to say similar game styles because they're not, but Mr. Yo on the back of 95 villagers is going to reach Imperial at the same time as Modri on the back of 107 villagers. And you can see why, because Mr. Yo has 1 military unit, the monk, and now he's getting the Eagle Warrior upgrade. I hope that means we're going to get to see Elite Eagle Warriors. He definitely will have the resources by the time he hits Imperial. 1 villager tried to come by on a sneaky little side mission, but he runs face first into a ladder. Oh man, I bet he wishes he can climb that ladder, climb over the house, Aladdin style, and just jump off the other end and cause a ruckus. In any event, castle going down here for our blue Bengali. Love this location. King of the hill, low ground everywhere. Any Treb that tries to dislodge this castle is going to have to work overtime to get rid of that minus 25% damage bonus. And Modri walling off the side here. Interesting. And he's walling off here. Modri, I'm going to zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen, but take a look at the map. Modri basically wants to carve it in half and take it for himself. I mean, I've seen ambitious wall-offs, but this is very ambitious. I mean, what the hell is Modri going to do if Mr. Yo starts attacking this portion of the wall? There's not a single villager except this one, who I'm assuming is going to move back and start mining. Within kilometers, within miles, leagues, whatever unit of measurement they use in your country, that villager is 10 of those away from that wall. Although, does he care? We've got a sneaky villager giving him line of sight throughout the entire western portion of the map. The outposts are done here on the eastern portion. Modri's map vision is just next level. Viper gates himself in with a wolf. Oh, this is Jaime Lannister with the direwolf in season 1 of Game of Thrones, stuck with Robb Stark making fun of him. And here we go, the elite Eagle Warrior upgrade being researched, and they should be able to take care of these Ratas pretty well. We'll see if they get converted. A few of these long swordsmen trying to catch them. Oh no, though he loses the monks, does Modri. Terrible loss. Castle is revealed. Oh god, he mangonelled his own units. Okay, so this mangonel is obviously not being microed. Oh dear lord. What an incredibly optimistic, ambitious wall off here by Modri, who is now building houses on the map himself. Okay, and Mr. Yo, uncharacteristically defensive in this game, I would say. We'll see if the strategy pays off. For now, these Eagle Warriors are just ripping, shredding through these Ratas. What do they attack on now? A +2. Look at that. Pierce armor, though, +8. They are almost fully upgraded in a minute and 20 seconds. That blast furnace upgrade, if you've got the resources, and please, if you're going up to Imperial, make sure you have the resources. Research that ASAP, as soon as possible, because it's an incredibly long upgrade. Oh god, he's going to lose 2 onagers here? No, it loses 1 onager. And this is what I was talking about, the horseshit positioning of this town center. Just terrible. Like I said, making the best of a worst case scenario here, but I mean, I'm surprised Mr. Yo is walling this off. Why not let him come in and go straight face first into a frickin' castle? You know, be careful what you wish for, Modri. Let him in. And now we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned Treb War, Blast Furnace, Elite, Plumed Archers coming out. How many? He's got none on the field of battle at the moment, so he's upgrading them first. Okay, these elite Eagle Warriors just kind of hanging out, bopping around left, right, holding their spears. Maybe you want to come and help your compatriots out, maybe. And here they come. 100 HP El Dorado has been researched by Mr. Yo. And man, is he loading up on the upgrades. These are the kinds of games that I love. Although, to be honest, I love all these games, all kinds of games, where the players just load up on the upgrades, they build their armies, and then we see a huge old fight. Army advantage here, though, firmly going to Modri, who is supply capped already, and he still has a bunch of two-handed swordsmen in production. Okay, Modri is just exploded in population. We'll see if he, as you can see, 55 and 144 is 199. Yes, I do know some basic math. But so he hasn't researched Mahayana yet, which would turn these 144 basically would give him 14 extra supply, or 14.5. I'm not sure how the rounding works in this game, but for now, the Eagle Warriors are just coming in and destroying all the Trebs. Modri, though, anticipating the switch to Plumed Archers, and my god, is he anticipating right? Leather Archer armor, Thumb Ring going down, has gone into Onagers, but these Eagle Warriors are just ripping these Onagers in half. Is there a single Onager left on the map? No, he's got 2 in production only. Man, he's got to defend these Onagers a little bit better. Okay, Eagle Warrior is going to take away a little bit of the vision that Modri has. Modri's got 15 idle villagers. Not a big fan of that. And here we go. Take a look at the Mahayana upgrade pikes. That's going to make the elephants and the Ratas attack 20% faster, which is a huge boost, especially when you've massed them. You've got, I guess, only 9, but you never know how many he's going to have. And of course, right as in the beginning of the game, when I say the Bengalis are a through and through elephant civilization, there's not a single elephant out on the field of battle. Although who knows, that might change. For now, though, there's a couple of scuffles and engages here. Finally, champions for our Bengali player. But no real decisive battles here. Both players kind of tickling at each other and not really choosing to engage. Although here we go. These champions have to be careful. Oh, look at that micro by Mr. Yo. He is microing these guys, killing 2 champions at a time. Eagles retreating wisely into this choke point created by the deleted walls. And Mr. Yo just basically cut Modri's army in half here. Holy shit. I mean, champions are strong. I think he must have expected going Eagles. And these Eagles are going to run straight into a wall. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, I think you can attack, but on a 13 against this kind of wall, you're not getting through it anytime soon. Another onager goes down. Another onager goes down, but pays the price with 4 plumed archers. Okay, let's just watch this chaos. I mean, how many onagers has he killed? Like I said in yesterday's game, you know, when you're playing archers versus onagers, your archers have to be microed incredibly well. You have to get lucky every time. You cannot misclick because the onager really just needs to get lucky once. Okay, fortified walls going down for our Bengali player. A light cav upgrade, okay. So he wants to be able to counter these plumed archers the way he wants to. Another castle going down here. And look at these plumed archers just taking up residence in the corner of this castle. If only there was an upgrade that would attack these plumed archers, that would make them vulnerable and not kill God knows how many villagers they're killing here. If only the developers of the game were smart enough to come up with an upgrade. For now, though, Mr. Yo steamrolling his opponent. My God, he was down in army supply and villager supply the entire game. Now villager supply is equal, although Modri with the 17 idle villagers is actually 17 productive villagers behind. And now Mr. Yo is the one with twice the army count and the better units on the field. I mean, these plumed archers can kite champions all day. They are quick. 1.2 speed against what? 0.99. And if they're not fast enough, the Eagles will come in and just tank all day. Mayan Eagles are such a pain in the ass to deal with. They're not the Aztecs that have the plus, 4 attack, but they are at 100 HP. That is incredibly annoying to deal with. Mr. Yo microing his heart out. He's going to take down this castle, or will he? Like I said, King of the Hill Castle. Not going to take that much damage from these trebs because he's on the higher ground. But Modri, what is his answer? More and more champions? Against a unique unit that specializes in killing infantry. Not sure that's the way to go. But here comes an onager. Let's see what it does. Oh, beautiful shot here. Why are you retreating? Why are you retreating? No. Okay, another castle going down for Mr. Yo. I love it. Also a King of the Hill castle here. No high ground around it except for this high ground, which is covered. Monk, hello. Why don't you join the fight here and, give us some of that lovin', some of that healing that you're known for. How many monks does he have? Just the one. Okay. Army count's kind of stabilizing. Remember that we're an Imperial, so these plumed archers have gone from 55 resources to 39 because they're 30% off. A bunch of Eagles just hanging out, sees the wall, makes us 2 siege workshops because, 1 is never really enough. And he's starting to produce the rams. Quick wall off behind this, though. Very smart by Modri. Very quick reaction time, as I would expect for anyone with Elo approaching 2600. But for now, the main theater of war has shifted westward. And now we've got a battle of static. Castle versus Treb. Castle versus Eagles. Let's zoom out and see the damage. So yeah, this castle, by virtue of being on the high ground, is going to take much less damage. Plus, with the upgrades, he's sitting at 6,400 HP. Yeah, you do not want to engage with your champions, especially if you've seen these plumed archers. What is going on here? Villagers. This is what killed MBL in yesterday's game, right? Is that he just ran out of wood. Mr. Yo choosing at the 41-minute mark of the game to expand from his base, not take the wood right adjacent to the more safer location of this castle, and these Eagle warriors but rather to take the riskier location out here, right in plain sight of Blue's outpost. I was going to say watchtower, but no, it's an outpost. And here come the champions, I think by accident. Isn't it annoying in the game when you look away and somebody attacks your army and they do that automatic move where when they get attacked, they charge at the enemy? Will they take down a Treb? Okay, at least they got one Treb. Doesn't really need murder holes with this many plumed archers. He's at 45 plumed archers, and now he's knocking down the front door. But these are just basic bitch rams. They are not going to last very long against the castle, especially with a stone wall in the middle in between them. But why are these onagers running away? Oh, Lord, I don't know why they were running away. Okay, maybe he was focused here where he killed a shit ton of plumed archers, it seems like. Knocked Mr. Yo down to 34. Why are you charging at him with slower units? Okay, he's distracting him with this movement to the south so that he can close in with the onagers. Brilliant move here by Modri. Mr. Yo, though, not taking the bait, wisely moving back, although maybe not too wisely. Oh, loses 2 only. Not terrible, not terrible. Okay, a converted champion and an eagle, elite eagle warrior will take down all these onagers unless he can get here in time. Modri, will he get here in time? No, loses 2. I think he's probably going to lose a 3rd. Yeah, maybe a 4th. Oh my God, are those not the 2 champion units for Mr. Yo in this game? 2 of them paying for with their lives to take down 4 onagers. What was the name? Did any of you guys ever watch that TV show Rome? There was Titus Pullo and Lucius Varinus. Now, fun nerd fact, those 2 names are actually taken from Caesar's own book, the Gallic War, De Bellis Gallicus or something like that. And in it, he invented 2 Roman soldiers and made them have like these crazy exploits where they charged into enemy ranks and recovered the eagle for their legion. And everyone knows, or at least suspects, that they're bullshit. That he just made these people up for propaganda. But they use those 2 names for the TV show Rome. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. Such a good show. But yeah, it basically in the beginning follows the story of these 2 Roman legionaries who just do these crazy feats of valor and bravery, oftentimes really stupid. But that's what these 2 units were, that champion and that eagle warrior, killing 4 onagers. But you say, Isaac, you are living in the past. A full in-game minute has gone by. This castle, which was destroyed, is being rebuilt. Modri is pushing out onto the map with 4 trebs, 3 onagers, a shit ton of champions. 37 he's going up to, and now he's added light cav. I might add fully upgraded light cav. But the one weakness for Modri here is that the Bengalis, I do not think, have hussars. And so these light cav are going to be a little underwhelming. Although Mr. Yo not paying attention here, these champions closing the distance. And this is why you don't want them closing the distance, because they are just eating through. God, what a bloodbath here of bodies. And let's just see, there's action going on everywhere. Now, though, concentrated all into this one center. Oh, no. My God. I mean, Mr. Yo's use of eagles in this game is just, I would say, chef's kiss. It's top notch. Oh, this one stupid light cav stuck behind enemy lines immediately pays the price. And he's got to get rid of this Treb, does Modri. And now it's his turn to attack this cursed gold pile. First, his villagers died. Now Mr. Yo's villagers are going to die. And let's see, can he transition? He's got 71 villagers on food. And take a look at the population at the top of your screen where my mouse is doing a shitty little circle. 132 villagers, 50 army supply. So that should add up to about 184, but it adds up to 171. That's the power of that Mahayana upgrade. Although Modri is just feeding at this point. Okay, good for him. He's to stop that. And now both players arraying their armies on the field of battle. Hill advantage here to Mr. Yo, who is moving forward with villagers to build castles, but he's going to move through a bunch of light cav. Oh, shredded by the Mayan halbs. Oh, distracts him with the help so the Eagles can run in. Mr. Yo. What a tactician. How many trebs? 1, 2, 3. All the trebs going down. That is literally 400 resources a treb. 200 gold a treb. What a painful loss of 1,600 resources by Modri, who is now under attack in the south. Like I said, what the hell is he going to do? Defend this wall with farmers? I don't know. These aren't Spanish villagers, you know? These aren't Flemish militia villagers. These are just basic Bengali villagers. And again, he's feeding with his light cav here. I'm not a fan of that. Mr. Yo, man, did he let this eagle take down this entire expansion here. Good for him, very patient. Not a lot of people would have the patience to let an eagle warrior just poke and prod for 30 minutes into a group of structures. And take a look at the top left of your screens. Okay, right as I was about to say, 61 elite plumed archers. What is this? 52 halberdiers in production. And Mr. Yo supply capped with 105 army supply. Wow. Let's take a look at the stats. 170 plumed against 224 champions. We give this battle to the plumed. I mean, that's not a huge numbers difference, especially with maneuverability and 25% attack bonus if he took the high ground, which he did a lot. APM incredibly similar for both players. Fairly relaxed game, I would say, at the 140s. But look at the kill count. Mr. Yo killing almost 400 Bengalis. The Bengalis killing 300 Mayans. What a bloodbath. Villager kills almost identical. Wow. Impressive. Let's take a look at the gold. Yeah, I mean, this is where your plumed archers came from, by the way. 3,700 gold to 1,000. So literally 2,700 more gold than your opponent is what allows you to build. But Mr. Yo's micro, Mr. Yo's this move here where he pulled Modri's light cav, or rather champions, out of position by threatening his light cav with the halbs, and then ran in with the elite eagle warriors and just destroyed, demolished the trebs. I mean, Modri's sitting on a lot of food, but number one, he can see the score at the bottom right. Mr. Yo's what, 3,400 points ahead. Number two, he's been breached in the south, and his only wall off is the one that he had in the original opening of the game, which has now, because of the mining or the lumberjacking that he's done, is completely open. And now you've got these very tanky 65 HP for an archer. How many kills for all these guys? 75 kills for this battalion of plumed archers. That is just bonkers level kills right now. And there's a bunch of halbs in here. Not sure why, except to make the ram move a little bit faster, I believe. But yeah, you've now exposed, you've been breached to the south. The first compartment of the Titanic is below water. And so if you're an experienced player like Modri, you know that you're about to lose a shit ton of these villagers. Where is his nearest army? Let's take a look at how far his nearest army is. This is his nearest army. And his army count is 20. So if he wanted to come here with these 10 light calves, there's no direct route. There's trees in the way. He's got to go around. He's got to go through this gate, then down here. In the meantime, what the hell are 10 light cav going to do against 29 plumed archers with 5 halbs to back them up? Because you know Mr. Yo is not going to engage unless it's in his favor. I love that he's continuing to expand with his villagers outside of his base, taking the risk, not walling it off, while Modri, like I said, very ambitious, very optimistic, carving out of the map. But in the case of the Eastern Empire, it worked, but the Western Empire has fallen, and the enemy is inside the gates. He must see the score. He must know he's being pressured here. He doesn't know that Mr. Yo has no siege units except for these 3 rams. He does not know that. We know that because we've got the God's Eye caster view. But at any moment, Modri suspects a treb will start rolling up behind these plumed archers. You know, I would say 8. Oh man, 8 onagers for Modri would be, you know, perfect. except for the fact that Mr. Yo has proven himself in this game, at least in this game, this specific game, to be an onager sniper. Wow, was his micro fantastic in this game. Where are these 8 onagers, by the way? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is like this looks like box art, or like a scenario in the game. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them spaced out, ready to take on any eagle warriors stupid enough to attack these walls, any rams, any plumed archers. I don't know why he ran away from the plumed archers like 15 minutes ago. He could have easily tried to gun them down. Maybe he was microing elsewhere, because against a player like Mr. Yo, you cannot look away for even a split second, or else his little band of 29 plumed archers is going to get 75 kills. These I feel like these are fresh recruits. Yeah, only 26 for these. So 61 plumed archers. My goodness. Modri, I think, went a little bit too heavy into champions, and then towards the end of the game was feeding very strangely. Maybe his waypoints were set a little bit too far advanced. But Mr. Yo, as I said, he was being very uncharacteristically defensive in this matchup. I wonder if he was expecting elephants, and so thought that he would need all these barracks to deal with the elephants, but the Bengali elephants never came. Isaac's prediction was completely wrong. And even though the Bengalis are through and through an elephant civilization, Modri went Ratas. When those proved ineffective, he then switched to champions. But I don't know what to say. I'm not sure why. If anyone knows Modri, or if Modri, yeah, right, is watching this, please do comment and let us know what you were trying to accomplish with the champions. Would love to get inside your head. But Mr. Yo, overall, my God, what a tactician! What brilliant micro here by him. To how many trebs did he snipe? How many onagers did he snipe? And all in exchange for a bunch of measly plumed archers that cost basically nothing. Yeah, Modri just didn't hit those big, juicy onager hits that he needed to. And now look at them, excited, running to just decimate these blue-trousered, blue-dressed lumberjacks. And Modri is, yeah, he just saw the writing on the wall. Like I said, the first compartment of the Titanic is underwater. You know, the second and the third being this compartment. I like that analogy because he actually did create little rectangles, little boxes. Although, is it open here? This side might be open. Might be missing one, unless if I can try to maybe click on it. I cannot. As always, you know my clicking skills are not the greatest. But in any event, wow, what a fun, fast-paced game. Mr. Yo coiled and exploded onto the map in Imperial and just overwhelmed Modri with his micro and his siege sniping, and overall takes the huge W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.